Look, you berserko Barbie doll. When you mess with Spike, you mess with death.
You can talk the talk, but you walk the walk?
Try me.
I will.
Let's go.
Right now.
Spike's in hell. Spike's in pee-wee hell.
So do you think you could take him?
Who, Spike?
Yeah. One-on-one.
Well, he's stronger than me, but I have the experience. He's certainly intimidating.
He's a tough guy, but could you take him? Tables, ladders, and chairs?
30-year-old me.
Stretcher match?
In a ladder match.
Yeah.
In a casket match.
Casket match.
I don't know. I think I need you. You want to go 2-on-1 handicap match?
Yeah. Triple threat?
Yeah, with a lumberjack match?
We'll take him.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Last Row Podcast, brought to you by O'Shea Chevrolet off of Route 181 in Urbania, Ohio.
That's O'Shea Chevrolet. You'll thank us tomorrow.
My name is Drew, and I'm here with my very good friend Badway.
What's up?
We want to welcome all new listeners. For those that do not know, this is a podcast where we watch movies that might not have been loved by the critics and find their silver linings, and also fill in the blanks that movie writers might have left out. If you're looking to keep in touch with us, you can find us on our website at thelastrowpodcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at thelastrowpod, facebook.com/thelastrowpod. We're on Google+, and we also have a voicemail line. And if you haven't done so already, we really appreciate it if you head out to iTunes, give us a 5-star review. There's a lot of people who have done it already. Want to say thank you to everyone that's done that. Really appreciate it.
So today we did Little Giants. We were going to do a 2-part football episode, but due to time constraints and Snowmageddon here in the Northeast, our schedule got a little crunched. So we're just doing Little Giants this week. IMDb 6.3, Rotten Tomato 40%, 1994, rated PG, directed by Dwayne Dunham, or his friends call him Dunham. All right.
They just call him Big D?
Big D. Double D's, they call him. All right. Ever since childhood, nerdy Danny O'Shea has felt inferior to his brother, Kevin, a former college football star. Danny runs a gas station while Kevin coaches the local youth football team. When Kevin's team rejects Danny's daughter, Becky, because she's a girl, Becky convinces her dad to start a rival team, though the city can support only one.
Sounds epic.
To prove himself against his brother, Danny begins coaching his team of Misfits for a playoff game. Loser leaves town match. What say you?
I don't know. I'm putting my money on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys plus 40. I mean, minus 40.
In real life,
yeah.
I'm betting on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, they're just America's team, you know?
So what are your initial thoughts of this film? We like to open every show by asking each other that. What are your initial thoughts on this film?
Well, first of all, I thought that I had a good time with it. I definitely had a good time with it. I wasn't sure about it because I haven't seen it actually, I think I saw parts of it 2 years ago.
You're a liar.
Well, yeah, I'm a liar. I'm like a sociopath. I did it with a straight face, and there's no reason for me to lie. So it was definitely a fun movie. Stupid movie.
Yeah.
Can we say that? But a fun movie. There's no reason to bash this
As
movie.
good as you remember?
Yeah. If you're anywhere between the ages of, I want to say, 18 to 35, there's no reason for you to hate this movie at all. It's a fun time.
So let's talk about the star of the show, okay? Because as far as this movie's concerned, there's a bunch of stuff going on, okay? But we're not here to talk about that.
No.
I want to talk to you about Kevin O'Shea.
O'Shea.
Big Kevin.
Big
Big
K.
Brother K. Big K. Kevin O'Shea.
The pride of Urbania?
The pride of Urbania. First off, what's this guy's background, okay?
All right. So
tell me about him, because I don't know anything about him.
So let's run down his accomplishments, right? So he's a 4-time high school football title holder, right?
Yeah.
He brought him 4 straight titles to Urbania. I think he was a 4-time All-American, Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman, that's accomplished.
NCAA collegiate champion.
So they won the bowl.
Yes, but they didn't say what school they didn't play what school he went to. They didn't say
Was
that.
it Ohio State?
You would think it's Ohio State.
Miami University of Ohio?
To me, in 94, who was hot?
Who?
The Cornhuskers.
Yeah.
I think he traveled down south to Nebraska.
Whoa, Nelly.
Yeah.
Whoa, Nelly.
Yeah, little Nebraska loving. I feel like he went down there, showed them a thing or two about what it's like to win a championship, and took the glory back up to Urbania.
Was he a what position did he play?
They
Was
didn't
he a
say that
quarterback?
either.
They showed him doing the Heisman pose.
But that could be anybody.
Yeah, but was he? What do you think? If you put your money on it, what position did
I'm
this guy play?
calling him a running back.
You're saying running back?
He's a tailback, I think. Maybe had a 2,000-yard season his junior year.
In high school?
In
college.
In college.
Yeah, that's when he won the Heisman.
Well, in high school, I mean, he just dominated. I mean, we're talking 30 touchdowns a season.
So was he drafted? Did he play in the pros? Did he try out?
That's the number one thing that bothered me about this movie is I was thinking about it. What's he doing coaching this team? Why isn't he a former NFL star? If he rattled off all those accomplishments in high school and college, why did he go pro? What do you think?
I wish I knew. Like, he's busy selling Corvettes and Chevy Cavaliers to people in Urbania. Did he just... See, my question is, and I want to know, did he just move back to this town? Like, I guess I would have to believe that he's been there for a while. Like, maybe he wasn't really that good. Or maybe he was good, but he just couldn't cut it in the pros or something.
He won the Heisman. He's got to be somewhat good.
Yeah,
he can't fake that.
I mean, he's college good, but maybe he's not pro material.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like Ty Detmer, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'd have to look back into the past of the NFL, but I feel like back in the 90s, if you were a Heisman winner, like you gotta at least have a shot, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Especially as a running back.
That's the truth. I
mean,
mean,
he may be a quarterback. I don't know. Do you think there was an injury involved?
You know, he could have blew out his knee.
Back in 94.
Maybe he tore his Achilles or something. That's like an injury you just don't come back from at that point in 94.
In 94, you tear your ACL, you're almost done.
It's actually before 94, because how old do you think he is?
Oh,
he
yeah,
looks
that's
like
true.
he's like 40 here,
That's
doesn't he?
true. So, yeah, I'm
So it's
sorry.
like 74 we're
the
talking
movie's
about.
made in 94, so we're talking about he's probably a college star, I want to say 82,
Yeah.
85,
Yeah.
something like that.
I mean, how does he own a car dealership? Because he comes back to this town allegedly, right? In my head, this is what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
Guy tries out for the pros, a la Gordon Bombay,
Right.
but he did it at a younger point in his life.
Yeah.
And my guess is that he had some type of shattering injury. Either he blew out his knee, tore his ACL, whatever, PCL, whatever, anything. Blew his Achilles out, done for life.
Right.
What's his college major? Does he fall back on what he studied in school, or is he football?
Oh, he's communications all the way.
He's like communications, arts, and humanities or something?
That's where he got those salesman skills.
Yeah.
See, now what makes me think I believe your point to where he was an injury casualty and not a flame out casualty is because he is so damn cocky.
He is.
He still has that gum chewing swagger that he couldn't have been knocked out a peg by not being good enough for the pros. It had to have been an injury.
Oh my God, dude, the gum chewing.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I don't care who you are, whether you're a movie star or whatever. If you chew gum like that all the time, you automatically, in my head, are the cockiest person alive. Like, who walks around doing that besides Pete Carroll?
Yeah,
who's also very cocky.
Yeah, you're talking about...
Yeah, the gum chewing, lip smacking.
Open mouthed.
Yeah.
What do you think? Big Red or double bit gum?
He looks like
Juicy Fruit?
He looks like a Juicy Fruit all the way.
You a Juicy Fruit guy?
I think Juicy Fruit all the way. I mean, maybe he used to be a Big Red guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he got some from his grandma.
Yeah.
But he looks like Juicy Fruit to me, or
right.
Double Mint. Either one. Not. He's not dangerous enough for
Double
Big
Mint
Red
is double
right
the
now.
flavor though, but it doesn't matter because it's constantly popping in, popping out. He probably has cases of that.
He doesn't
thing.
taste it. He chews it 3 times. The flavor's gone in 2 seconds anyway. He just throws it out. But I don't know. How long do you think he's owned this car dealership?
Well, I feel like in my head, in my vision, he came back to the city a little bit after injuring his knee. Maybe he had a rehab assignment. Maybe he was going for a pro workout. I want to say at first, he didn't want to come back to Cleveland. He didn't want to go back to the Browns, or he would try to do a walk-on situation, which I think was more probable back in the NFL days than it is today. It's like you can't do that now.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe he went down to Texas. We'll try to walk on to the Houston Oilers there.
Yeah.
But the knee it couldn't give.
It couldn't handle it?
Couldn't handle it.
Couldn't handle the stress.
He tried. He couldn't handle it. So then he shoved it all back up to Urbania, where he thought, what's finer than a nice Chevy Corvette, right?
Yeah, every man's dream at that time.
Take that communications degree. The town people love him. They worship him. They put his name on a freaking water tower, billboard everywhere.
Home of Kevin O'Shea.
The locals can't stop gossiping about the big game, the glory days. They love this guy. Of course they're going to buy Chevy from him. It's easy pickings.
And the tales of Kevin O'Shea get taller every time.
Yeah.
If you notice the scene where he's in the diner talking to these old guys, I don't remember their names, but they had the old guy's name like Cletus or something.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
definitely. There's a Cletus and a
It, like Yancey or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was like an older guy name. You know, like your old neighbor from down the street. That's what these guys were.
Willie.
And they had these grand memories of Kevin O'Shea in the big game. Which big game? We don't know.
Yeah.
We
The
just
big
know
game.
that it gets taller and taller of a tale the more times this guy tells it, to the point where he sounds like he's even just embellishing.
Yeah.
But this guy is full of himself, okay? And I know that you have a differing opinion on this, and we'll get to that, but this guy is a big jerk. He's a big jerk. And I want to know, why the hell is he coaching Pee Wee football? Like, we said this about Bombay and Coach Riley. Like, you're coaching at the lowest possible level. Like, there's no competition there. If this guy's so damn competitive, like we think and see he is he not... Just go coach some, like, high school stuff.
Well, he's the classic big fish in a small pond, right? Driving around town, hot red convertible, Chevy Corvette. It's brand spanking new.
Do you think it's an automatic? I bet it's an automatic.
Yeah, he's not shifting. This is all show, man.
That looks like a midlife crisis car to him.
He lost a damn race to an ATV car,
to a
go-kart in the movie. So you know he ain't shifting.
Yeah,
there's no nos in there. All right. Speaking of that Corvette, do you think that the Corvette is possible purchase item at the Golden Closet?
I think it might be. I don't know. We got to get them on here because I want to know, like, can they acquire that for us?
Yeah, thegoldencloset.com. They got all the hot items from all the movies. Do they have the Corvette? Do they have, maybe they have Icebox's jersey.
Game-worn Icebox jersey, complete with grass stains and rip marks. Rip marks.
Right.
Because we can't ask for the cheerleading outfit because that would be creepy.
Right.
We got to get the jersey here.
Yeah, the jersey's good enough.
We got to get the jersey or the toilet paper that Junior was throwing in the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they have that? We got to get them on here. I got to find out about that.
But anyway, he's driving around his Corvette, big fish, small pond. You're right. What's he doing there? What's he coached this Pee Wee team for? But we find out he's doing a favor for the mayor. Really?
Yeah.
Trying to get the Pee Wee. They're back in I forget
Pop
what the Pop Warner League. They finally got the Pop Warner League. They squeezed him in there because O'Shea was coaching. They heard. Long story short, they have this tryout for Pee Wees, which is almost unheard of, right?
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
And he ends up cutting Becky, his little brother Danny's daughter.
Who's clearly
the best player.
Clearly.
Right? The best player on the team, by far. On the field, she blows everyone away, cuts her because, quote, girls can't play football.
She's a girl. Go be a cheerleader. Come on, man.
You think this is a jerk move, right?
Absolutely. She was look, this is Pee Wee football we're talking about, okay?
Yeah.
This is about learning leadership and camaraderie.
Okay.
You know, I'm not a Pee Wee coach, but if I was, that's the lesson you teach these kids. They're so young, they're not developed. They can't be catching balls, you know? They're trying to learn stuff. Everything they're going to do is handing off. It's about learning the skills, man, and the teamwork.
So obviously Becky has the skills.
Dude,
Icebox.
She will tackle you and crunch you.
Yeah. So you're talking about everyone, though, right? Even the fat kid, even the spaz.
Here's my thing.
Even the receiver who can't catch a ball.
Here's
right?
my thing, okay? Keep him on the team. You don't have to play him if you really want to be a jerk. This whole movie would have been avoided if he just, like, okay, join the team. Warm the bench. Go warm the bench.
Listen, Al Bundy over there has one job, all right? He has one job, and that's to get a championship to Armenia, because all he does is win, baby. Those kids are just going to slow him down. They can't catch, they can't block, they can't tackle. They're not going to learn. He says it in a diner scene, and I think it's very succinct, his point. Have the kids shine up for the chess club. Do a nature walk.
I can't believe
Play
you.
kickball.
Can't believe you right now.
They're not going to have fun getting their asses kicked by the better kids in this league. The league may be better than the Cowboys
But
team
they
here.
got to learn at some point. Here's my thing.
There's no time for that.
Get him on the team.
Not in Pop Warner, baby.
It doesn't matter. My point is, he should just keep him on the team.
Yeah.
If he wants him to warm the bench, then his brother's not pissed. The girl can play. She doesn't have to play. Put him in when it's like 42-0. Let him run the clock out.
I'll concede.
Go in for the knee.
I'll concede this point to you. Yes, he should have let Becky on the team because she is the best. But the other kids, he's looking out for the best interest. I understand that it may seem a little harsh. He doesn't want to lie to him. He's not a jerk here. I mean, you could walk both sides of this argument, and I know it's a little cruel, and you probably shouldn't do cuts in Pee Wee, but he really is, like, in his mind, he's doing what's best for the kids.
Yeah.
I can't fault him for that. I can't.
Well, because listen, I think he grew up as a jerk. And there's a scene that leads me to my next point and segue about Danny O'Shea, his little brother.
Yeah.
Now, there's that scene in the beginning of the movie where, you know, they're doing whatever they're doing as little kids, and Danny O'Shea doesn't even get picked at all.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't get picked last. He doesn't get picked.
It's his brother, and he wouldn't pick him.
And, you know, you've got Kevin O'Shea there, gum chewing as a 10-year-old, you know.
By the way, before you go on, those two kid actors.
Your favorite actors, right?
That played Moranis and Ed O'Neill, like their young counterparts, perfectly casted.
I thought they did such a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
They looked like them.
They did.
And they acted well, too. Especially the Kevin O'Shea character.
Yeah, the Al Bundy character, like he was snapping gum just like his elder. It was beautiful.
Well, I guess that leads us to a point. You know, you've got this big, successful Kevin O'Shea, Heisman winner, you know, national championship winner,
Chevy,
so on and so forth.
Corvette slinging dealer.
Corvette, Chevy owner, and then you've got Danny O'Shea, mild-mannered gas station owner, Shell station.
Yeah.
Old gas station in the town, respected guy, just trying to be a dad.
Respectable business. He's an everyman.
He's just trying to be a dad, small-time guy, trying to raise his daughter. His wife left him. Did she leave him? She died.
We find out, and I love how movies do this. You see, a lot of movies like to do this move where they have a single dad.
Yeah.
It's just the dad. Where's the mom? She left. They don't want to say she died because that's too sad. So the movie says that the mom left. What mom leaves their kids? I feel like that's a very rare occurrence.
Yeah.
And Danny O'Shea, Rick Moranis here, seems like a level-headed type of guy.
Well, he's a nice guy. It's not like he was cheating on her or something. Like, why did she leave?
I feel like he would have better judgment than to pick a wife who would eventually leave her growing daughter.
Well, he seems like a very nice guy, okay? Yeah. And I don't know what the hell happened in that family.
Was he not like exciting her in the bedroom or otherwise, or was that enough? Was she?
I don't know. Maybe she was into the big time Corvette dealership. What if his mom, what if his wife is actually Kevin O'Shea?
And they never said.
They just never said it.
Yeah, it's unspoken.
The whole movie.
It was deleted scenes.
Yeah, deleted
they
scenes.
Just cut that out.
Well, that's why that would explain why she helps them, right?
Yeah, right.
She helps the team win.
She still has old feelings.
She's cheering.
Yeah, I feel like there was an argument that went, why can't you be more like your successful older brother?
Yeah.
And that set off Rick Moranis. Then she started cheating on him. He was like, get out. And she was like, I don't want to have this kid anyway.
Yeah.
She moves for greener pastures. All of a sudden, she's out there hoeing it up.
Yeah. Well,
maybe she's out. She's dead somewhere. Drug dealer, drug addict.
Yeah. It's like a Forrest Gump situation. Yeah. You've got Jenny.
She's Jenny.
Jenny.
That's right. She is Jenny. You got it.
Well, the thing about her is, Icebox even says it later when she's pissed at her dad. She's going through this whole thing. Mom left us. He's like, your mom left us. This is what happened. She's like, yeah, she left us for a better team.
Ooh.
All the football analogy. That's like a deep freaking burn,
you know
man.
What? He didn't even bat an eye at that one, which makes me think that she throws that shit at him all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Teenage daughters, man. Daughters.
Yeah, well, did he raise her to be a tomboy on purpose? Because she grows up as a tomboy, right? Yeah. Like she's playing with the guys, riding go-karts, doesn't know how to use makeup, and Ed O'Neill is totally exploiting this.
I think she's 12 in this movie.
Something
12,
like
12
that.
or 13, maybe. She should be 12. I think that, this is my theory, that she was raised by Moranis because he didn't know how to otherwise. He didn't really necessarily raise her as a tomboy. He raised her as a person to not take any crap from anybody because he kept getting stepped on as a kid, as they showed at the beginning, as he portrays his character. All he knows is he doesn't want his kid to end up like him, where he just constantly gets stepped on, how you're portrayed as the little guy. Stand up for yourself. And she's very tough. The very first time we see her, she's beating up boys that are bigger and older than her. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the whole point of the movie, right? So you've got this brotherly rivalry, and it's not like a Memphis and Kip Raines thing, like I'm going to steal more cars than you.
No.
This is, I'm getting you back for everything you did to me. You know, the old guys in the town incite this basically big game. Now we got to have the battle for one team, the real team of Urbania, the Pee-wee team. Yeah,
so the Misfits versus the pros, basically. The spazzes versus the jocks.
And it's because, this girl is riding her go-kart, basically assaulting guys with her go-kart as they're riding a bicycle.
They're all afraid of her.
Yeah.
Like, they know she's good.
They should be.
They know she's good.
Because she'll kick their ass.
But she's all they have.
That's true.
And that's the thing. We'll get into this. They have no talent on this team. So it's like a no-win situation.
And when you say no talent, I mean, there's no talent. Like, there's no other person that can perform any of the football activities that need to be done to win a game.
Right. So they can't, they don't know formations. They can't catch. The fastest kid on the team can't catch the ball worth nothing.
Stone hands.
They don't have a quarterback. They can't even huddle, let alone line up. So what happens? They find where do they find that diamond in the rough? The glimmer of hope. Little Junior
in the grocery store.
Throwing toilet paper.
Charmin. Is that Charmin Ultra?
It had to be.
Was he going Scott 1000 sheet?
Actually, Scott 1000 sheet would better replicate a football.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your good practice in, so I think he went that route.
Not the green stuff.
Yeah.
Not the environmentally friendly stuff. That stuff's too light. It doesn't fly well.
So you got Junior, who's got a cannon for an arm, and he's a big dude. And I looked up what's the dude's name?
Devin Sawa,
Devin
right?
Sawa.
Which, what the hell happened to him?
Right. So the last on IMDb I saw of his activity is like he's in this La Femme Nikita show, like the reboot of La Femme
Really?
Nikita. Yeah.
They rebooted that
Yeah, I think
show?
they did. Yeah, Nikita. So I don't know what kind of role he's a regular on that show.
Sorry if anyone likes and watches that show.
So I got a quick scouting report on Junior here, Devin Sawa.
Hit me with it.
Right. I got a couple problems with this kid, and I don't know if he's good for this team.
Dude, is this like your combine? This is like the combine evaluation.
Yeah, I put eyes on this kid, this Junior kid. Probably Junior. Come on.
Yeah, Junior. What's his real name?
Yeah, really. Get a real name, kid. First problem: the kid's too old. All right. This is like a 9 to 12 league.
Yeah.
I looked up the IMDb page of Devin Sawa. The filming of this movie, that kid was 16 years old.
He
Let's
looked
go
it
here.
too.
Let's go.
And
too old.
He looked it.
Yeah. Bigger than him. He's bigger than Spike if you really look at it. They just don't really meet in the movie.
Yeah.
Like face to face, kind of like
standing,
shoulder to shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, like a profile shot.
Yeah. It's like a Jack Bauer situation where it's like he looks taller than he is.
They got to put him on stilts.
Yeah, right.
Take your shoes off when you're standing next to him.
He's too old. Why don't you get better competition? Why don't you step up to the big leagues, son? Why don't you try out for JV?
Yeah, he could. He probably could hit it at that point. He had a cannon for an arm, though.
He did. Here's my next point. He's got a cannon for an arm. They didn't complete any passes in practice. The one pass they completed was like where he sticks the ball in the kid's helmet, right? Or if Icebox caught a ball, but she's not really going out for routes.
Yeah.
He celebrates every completion like he just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's the classic Tom Brady situation where he runs into the end zone every time they complete a pass.
Which is the ultimate violation.
Yeah, that's
stay,
a violation.
Stay back there, buddy. Be
So
professional.
he's going to get some personal foul penalties. Next, he's got a lot of off-field problems. He's in the grocery store. He's making a mess. Sooner or later, he's going to get busted by the grocer. The grocery?
Grocery?
The grosserier?
The grosserier?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Management.
Grocer. Alan Matthews.
Yeah. So you can't go vandalizing those kind of establishments. It's going to catch up with you. He's a distraction to his teammates, namely Icebox, who she was a focused, ferocious competitor. All of a sudden, Icebox got eyes for him. He's trying to get her hot to trot for him. All of a sudden, he turns her to a cheerleader.
He melted the Icebox.
He melted the Icebox's cold heart.
He did.
Her edge is completely gone to the point where she quits the team. Their chance of winning's over, right?
Does he have small hands? That's typically a knock on a quarterback, right? But does he have small hands?
We're talking about kids here, Drew. Please,
Yeah.
please. And as I say, anyway, he should have tried out for the Cowboys, and that's my last point. He belongs on the Cowboys. He's too talented to be messing around with a bunch of no names.
What I want to know is where was the old man in the tip of, hey, we got this kid in the grocery store that's wrong. They knew about Spike.
Right.
They knew about Spike, but they didn't get him to
How
this
could
kid.
they not know about this hidden gem?
They found him in the grocery store
This is unbelievable.
because she was walking around eating food.
Yeah.
That's like the worst part. Their scouting department needs to be fired.
Yeah.
Get a new GM in here.
And that's another thing. The kid's lazy. He knows he has this talent. He knows he's got a cannon for an arm. Why did he seek out when he heard the news that Pee Wees were running a team? Why did he seek him out?
Well, and another thing that I wanted to say about the Junior and Icebox connection is Icebox is just an all-around player, okay?
Right.
Now, if this kid can throw like he can throw, like we've seen him throw, why doesn't he just bomb it to her every time? She's faster than him, or she's faster than everybody on the other team. Meanwhile, they have her playing fullback.
Yeah.
Like, she can beat everybody. I'm talking just go deep every time.
Yeah. Or at least just run like a hook pattern, and then you can break tackles.
Yeah, throw a wide receiver screen.
Yeah, break some tackles, man.
Just get her down, get her open.
Yeah.
I mean, they're two of the best players. Meanwhile, they got this other guy, Hot Hands, more like Stone Hands, that can't catch anything. He's no competition for the Hot Hands I know.
Right.
But he definitely could not catch a pass.
Can we get the kid some gloves, please?
Yeah, get him some gloves.
Can we
Don't
get him
they
some
have
of those sticky gloves? Can we please?
I mean, dial it up, get him some gloves. He'll catch everything. You know, you see Odell Beckham do it?
Yeah.
I bet that kid could turn into Odell Beckham if he had the sticky gloves.
The ball catches itself. You got the gloves on.
I want to talk about the scene too when they're spying on Junior and they O'Shea calls up on the other O'Shea and he basically says that there's a guy peeping on his kids.
Yeah, because they're afraid of this new hotshot quarterback they have. Yeah.
I love like fake newspaper headlines and the one said local hero arrested.
I want that newspaper.
Yeah. Can that be on the Golden Closet?
Somebody has that newspaper somewhere. It's funny.
And the best part about that is he said, he knew to call the state police and not the local police, which means this guy can get away with murder.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the police force in his pocket, too.
Yeah. Local PD, he could do no wrong.
Let's talk about the other recruitment, the gold level recruit here.
Ooh, the new kid in town, right?
Spike. Spike is the reverse Adam Banks. Now, I'm
put.
going to give you my reasoning behind this, okay?
Right.
First off, he goes on the crappy team first, and then he gets poached by the good team.
Right.
Okay?
Complete opposite.
He's a jerk. Adam Banks was kind of a jerk, but he didn't really know that he was a jerk. He just kind of was following suit with the rest of the guys.
Hockey.
Yeah, and that's what he says.
Yeah.
He says he wanted to play hockey.
Yeah.
Spike is programmed like a robot by his drill sergeant / slave master dad. I mean, I don't know what the hell's wrong with this guy, but he's basically breeding this kid to play football so he can get a payday.
He said, and I quote, "This kid was rolling a football around with his nose at 4 months old." So
yeah, but the point that goes off the deep end here for me is when you've got Rick Moranis driving a go-kart, basically racing a Corvette, which he beats him, probably because it's an automatic.
Yeah.
But he beats him, driving to this place, and he gets to the recruit. He pretends he's the coach, so on and so forth. This is the exact moment where Rick Moranis just totally forgets about doing it for the kids here.
Oh.
He pulls a reverse Gordon Bombay, you know, where, again, I hate to keep comparing it to Mighty Ducks here, but it's the reverse Gordon Bombay. But anyway, he almost dies crossing the train tracks. That's how crazy he is to get this guy.
Right.
And then you've got Kevin O'Shea almost killing his wife, trying to show how to tackle the icebox. Yeah. That's like the level of competition that's happening in this movie right now.
So I feel like we got two stories going on here. We have Kevin O'Shea, Bundy here, trying to relive the glory days. He's getting too wrapped up in this thing. And we have Danny O'Shea, the young Rick Moranis, just trying to do whatever it takes. He's blinded by this need to beat his older brother at something for once in his life. Yeah.
Just one time.
Yeah, one time.
And then you got Kevin O'Shea pulling the ultimate. And you don't agree with me on this, but I do. Yeah. He gets his niece to quit the freaking team to become a cheerleader.
Yes.
And you better believe that he knew what he was doing
first of all, that's Junior's fault.
No.
I
disagree with you. That's Kevin O'Shea pulling some dirty tricks.
No. He's looking out for the best interests of his niece. He doesn't want his niece to be heartbroken. All right? Little Becky's got a crush on this quarterback. What's the best way to get a quarterback? Become the head cheerleader. He's just trying to push her in the right direction. Football be damned. He's throwing the game out the window
Absolutely
here.
Not.
He's looking up. He wants his young niece to get a date. He doesn't want to see her cry and be crushed and heartbroken.
Let me tell you.
You can't get a date with a quarterback being a linebacker. It's not sexy.
I can tell you, Junior was not interested in that. He liked her because she was cool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I saw that twinkle in Kevin O'Shea's eyes because he was not wearing those Ray-Ban aviators. I knew. You could see it in his face. He knew what he was doing. No. He did it on purpose.
No, he did. Hey.
Total scumbag move.
If it just so happened that his pep talk just so happened to have her quit the team, that might be a little fringe benefit. But the main idea was helping his niece find love.
I disagree. Agree to disagree.
I think that he's a good guy. He's misunderstood. No villain. Villain scale, -1.
So we're not even going to bother with the villain scale here today.
No villain scale.
I think Spike and his dad are probably on the villain scale before Kevin O'Shea. I think Kevin O'Shea is just a jerk that grew up like thinking he was the best.
Yeah, it's like everybody told him he was great, so you can't help but think you're great if everybody tells you you're great.
I'm not excusing him, okay? Yeah. But they basically have 2 weeks to train for this game, and they're pulling out all the stops. They're trying training stuff. They don't even have equipment. These kids are like playing with like a Darth Vader helmet. There's ridiculous equipment going on. The kid puts a cup in front of his face that looked like it had been on like 5 dudes' crotches at least.
Oh man.
I don't know how many crotches that thing had seen, but it was bad.
Coach goes, some of the stuff has been used.
Yeah. Total cringe moment. But it all turns around when the Madden bus shows up.
Oh, you gotta have the Madden bus.
John Madden, Tim Brown, Bruce Smith, Steve Ettimans? I don't know what is Endemans. I'm going to call him Steve Ettimans.
Such a random no-name guy to be along those legends.
Yeah. And I don't know if anyone else was on there, but they get off this bus and they show the kids how to be tough.
Yeah, that's basic montage type stuff.
It doesn't matter.
80% mental, 40% physical.
Doesn't even add up.
Emmitt Smith says, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the best, but I worked hard, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so the kids get inspired and they go on. Who cares? Whatever.
So, but that's the thing. That's the turning point. I guess maybe they had more than just a 10-minute conversation with the people because before then they couldn't even line up. They couldn't huddle. They couldn't complete a pass. But all of a sudden in the game, you got them, lining up, no false starts. They were still losing at a certain point, but at least they were a coherent team.
Yeah.
So John Madden works his magic once again.
But they got 2 weeks to lead up to this, and it doesn't matter, okay? Because these teams. The Cowboys are going to crush them, right?
Yeah, there's no competition.
Right?
No competition.
No competition.
Yeah.
All right, enough about practice. Let's talk about the big game.
Let's talk about what will happen.
Now, the old men in the shop, they've got the Cowboys at plus 40 over Danny's boys.
All right. Plus 40 seems like a really good line. I think it's a tad on the high side, but definitely doable based on turnovers. 32-minute game. I think it's the maximum amount that it could possibly go over, and I feel like they might show a little mercy at the end of the game, so they won't run it up too bad.
So let's break this sucker down with the O'Shea Chevrolet keys to the game.
Well, Drew, key number 1. I got the Giants. They have to overcome the loss of their star player, Icebox. So she quit the team, which was a very, very controversial move. Never been done in the history of Pee Wee because of a boy. So she's on the sideline with the pom-poms. They lost their best player. What are they going to do? They have to find a way to score some points and stop Spike without their star player.
Now listen,
you
Badway. I've got that the Giants, exactly right. The Giants have to contain Spike as he won't be able to stop him. They got to load the box. Since the quarterback has not proven that he's a viable passer, they got to load that box, load him up on Spike, and try to get him down on the ground.
You're absolutely right, Drew. Lastly, the Cowboys have to just step on the field. Step on the field, and whatever they do not piss off Icebox on the sidelines with the pom-poms. The only chance that the Giants have of winning this game is Icebox stepping on that field. So as long as they don't do anything too shady, don't piss off Icebox, let her be her own self there on the sidelines, and they'll cruise to victory. And those are your O'Shea Chevrolet keys to the game.
I want to thank you for putting that together because that was one of my favorite things that we've done on this show. Hopefully, people appreciate that.
Absolutely ridiculous.
But that was one of my favorite things.
I channeled my inner Troy Aikman on that one.
So, anyway, at the game, we've got... I can't get over that because it was just too fun. But at the game, we've got the bet.
You got the
I
bet.
put the bet.
The bet at half court.
Yeah. So, at half court, it's midfield dad.
As Danny O'Shea would say.
The microphone stays on.
Yeah.
And, these guys are amped up for this game.
Trash talking.
The night before, Danny
Ignites.
O'Shea's talking trash in the mirror to himself. He doesn't know what he's doing. Icebox gives up her
trades her cleats for pom-poms, if you will.
Yeah. And they make this bet at midfield or half court, whatever you want to call it.
Danny O'Shea.
And they decide that they're going to make this bet. They're trash talking in the mic with the announcer, basically, and everyone in the crowd staring on, which didn't really make a big deal out of that, but I thought it was pretty funny. The car dealership versus the gas station.
What a bet.
Okay. Now, what I want to ask you is if Kevin O'Shea had won this game.
Yes. Spoiler alert.
Which he does.
Yes.
Which everyone should know this.
Danny O'Shea won.
Right. Yeah. Danny O'Shea wins. I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize. Would Kevin keep this bet? If Kevin would win,
so if Kevin would have won, would he have let Danny keep the gas station?
No, I don't think he would.
Absolutely not.
He would have made him work for him.
Stolen him and made him be a gas jockey. Absolutely.
Is this one of the worst bets of all time?
Well, yeah. Even as they're walking away, they show Danny O'Shea walking away, saying, "What just happened? What did I just do?" It's ridiculous. He just completely got caught up in the moment.
It's one of the most lopsided bets of all time.
Well, I mean, I can't even get into the financials of how a car dealership is more profitable than this freaky dig old gas station.
I want to start asking you some questions. How many penalties are how would this game even be a game? It's so lopsided that this team, I don't even know what the hell would happen.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, they barely know how to line up in a formation, let alone run actual plays. And forget about proper tackling form. Forget about they can't catch a pass. Now that Icebox is gone, they have no wide receivers. They have no running threat.
They have no fullback.
They have no lead blocker.
Which they use in Pee Wee, I guess.
And Young Jr.'s just getting nailed play after play on the sidelines.
He was taking a beating. Who is the town rooting for? Does the town care about football like Minnesota cares about hockey, like the Mighty Ducks?
I think this is an obvious answer here. They're rooting for Kevin O'Shea because he's the town hero. So I bet some of the people don't even know that he has a brother.
Yeah.
Let alone this is a game against his brother. This is just Kevin O'Shea. Let's get him into that league. We want glory. We want Pee Wee football glory in the Pop Warner League.
Is it big there? I couldn't tell if the crowd was just rooting for the kids and maybe these two guys were just so self-absorbed that they only cared about this game. Did they make the game bigger than it actually was?
They absolutely made the game bigger than it is. I feel like the crowd was not very amped. They were just regular parents rooting for their kids.
They were just there to see little Johnny run a touchdown. It's like they didn't really care. They just wanted to watch the kids play.
Yeah. Now, the crowd was not as amped as, say, the Mighty Ducks championship game versus the Hawks.
So the Giants are getting their ass kicked. They go down 21-0 at halftime. Okay, they didn't even gain a freaking yard.
Total meltdown, total beatdown. Spike running all over him, stepping on kids.
Kevin O'Shea gives him a chance to submit and say, look, let's just end this thing right now.
Let's call this whole thing off. Let's call the bet off. Let's not get these kids hurt out there.
Let's be serious.
Yeah.
He probably should have quit.
Oh, yeah.
I know he winds up winning, but in the real world,
I know.
He probably should have quit.
Keep your gas station. Don't get the poor little rad tad hurt.
These kids are getting like literally crushed.
Yeah, Junior probably has a concussion. Yeah, who knows?
But they try to get him to quit, and he says no. Yeah. Admirable of him.
Right. Goes
Goes into the locker room. The kids are dejected. They're really upset. And what does he tell him? He gives him like the most inspirational speech outside of freaking Al Pacino. In a football movie here.
Let's not go that far now. Listen, I'm going to go the opposite direction of you right here. A little low on intensity here. One time.
I guess it's kind of
the
lame.
theme is one time.
Just one time.
Just one time. I beat my brother in a bike race that one time. I jumped over the diving board against my brother and he chickened out one time. Everybody tells their story about the one time where they overcame the odds. And now this could be that one time.
I would say that it's the equivalent of the real New York Giants beating the Patriots, but they did it twice, so that was two times.
Yeah. So Eli Manning was like, "Oh, it's one time."
Just one time.
Yeah. So they come out of halftime all fired up. What was my third key of the game? Don't piss off Icebox on the sidelines, right? So what do? They smash Junior in the back with a cheap shot from Spike. On orders from his dad, Junior's out of the game. He's hurt. Rib injury, back injury, concussion, who knows?
He might be dead.
Giants need a quarterback. They got no shot. Don't piss off Icebox. Throws down the pom-poms, laces up the boots, gets the jersey on. Long story short, it's domination time.
Icebox to the rescue.
Yeah. Causing fumbles, breaking necks, making tackles, tossing touchdowns. It's game over.
One play at a time, they crawl out of this 21-0 hole, which is, is this one of the most dominating performances in a game then by Icebox? And the fact that they came back 28 unanswered points from the Little Giants against this dominant Cowboys D and this dominant Cowboys offense.
Right.
Listen, I'm sorry, but she's one person. Okay. Now, could you imagine this game? Like, maybe Danny O'Shea really did have the balls to play this game and say, look, my daughter's going to kick their ass.
Yeah.
She's pretty damn good.
Right.
They really messed up by not letting her on that team.
Oh, yeah. They would have cruised to the Pee Wee Championship, and this game wouldn't have even existed had they let Becky on the team.
And that just shows you how freaking good Becky actually is.
So, obviously, that led us to our O'Shea Chevrolet turning point of the game. When Junior got hurt, Icebox goes in, dominates, game over, which is a clean segue into our Chevrolet most valuable player of the game.
O'Shea Chevrolet MVP.
You'll thank us tomorrow. So who's the MVP? Who's the O'Shea Chevrolet player of the game?
Icebox. Okay.
Icebox?
I'm giving it to Icebox because without her, they wouldn't have won this game. Now, the question is, does she get a Corvette from O'Shea Chevrolet for getting this MVP?
I'm pretty sure Kevin O'Shea doesn't make his bills giving away Chevrolets, all right?
So he'll give away a Cavalier.
He'll give away a Cavalier. He's not going to give away any Corvettes.
He'll give away a Cavalier.
You'll get a Corsica, all right? You won't. You're not going to get a Corvette for free, all right?
So they won this game on the craziest play ever. Okay, the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Everybody knows the annexation of Puerto Rico. It's very, very in the forefront of our lexicon of football terms.
Cam Newton used it.
Yeah.
In real football.
He did in real football. It's basically a trick play where the offensive lineman gets the ball, rumbles down the field, and all hell breaks loose. Pitches, laterals, all of a sudden Junior's in the end zone.
Where was Gus Johnson on the call for this one? Because I feel like this is the perfect Gus Johnson call. Someone needs to create that on the internet, a Gus Johnson overview of this.
That's beautiful. I would love that.
We need that.
His head would explode.
Would this play actually work? No, I'm telling you, against this Cowboys D, where you got Spike out there ready to literally rip someone's head off, would this work?
See, let me tell you, you say Cam Newton did it in real life, but that was like a goal line play, right?
Yeah.
And he handed off to a fullback. This was a 99-yard play.
It was their own goal line.
I failed to say the score was 21-21. They stopped Spike on the 1-inch yard line, fourth down. There was 1 second left, 99 yards to go. There's no way. There's just no way. And I know it's a movie. I know it's a funny story, blah, blah, blah. Any other way but this way. It's not going to happen.
They give the ball to the fattest kid on the field that farts and he can't even run.
He has
asthma.
Asthmatic.
So he literally runs out of breath as he's running down the field.
Yeah, he's got no shot.
And he hurls it over his head and scores. And they win. Game over. Goodbye, Cowboys.
Yeah.
You're out. See you, Kevin O'Shea. Now Danny owns your car dealership. Good job making the dumbest bet in the world.
Right.
Congratulations, you lost. Get the hell out of Urbania.
Yeah, so as we noted earlier, of course, Danny lets him keep it.
Nice guy.
I would have taken the Corvette myself.
Yeah, at least he should have made him give himself a car or something.
Yeah.
Because he should be co-owners. Worst bet. But they settle on the dumbest thing ever. He could have made this guy basically his bitch.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
No, yeah.
Could have made him his bitch.
Made him grovel. Made
What
him
does
beg
he
for
do?
it.
He makes him put the name, the O'Shea brothers.
That's all he wanted.
Let me tell you something, okay, Danny O'Shea? Danny O'Shea, no one knows you even exist, okay? and I hate to be the jerk here.
Yeah.
But who are the O'Shea brothers? People are going to be like, who are they? They're not even going to associate it with Kevin O'Shea.
Oh, it's Kevin O'Shea, and that's it. Like, cares about Danny.
They promised that one day their name would be on the water cooler. Okay,
Yeah.
but Danny O'Shea, he's a nice guy. He's
Well-
a very nice guy that owns a Shell station.
What maybe his thinking is to get Kevin O'Shea off of his God complex and turn into a normal human being.
That's true.
Maybe the gum will stop snapping a little bit.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I still think he should have kept that Chevy dealership.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
Danny O'Shea Chevrolet.
Have him wash the cars, right?
Yeah. So how many games does this Giants Cowboys combination? Because that's what happens. They basically says, "Oh, I'll be the coach," but is there room for an assistant coach? You think that this guy's ego can allow him to be the assistant coach
No, he's going to accept the job, and after 2 practices, he's just going to overtake him.
and undermine him?
Undermine him, overtake him, and all of a sudden, little Danny's back, slinging gas. And they're going to have a big fight. There's going to be a blow up.
They're going to take his name off the water tower.
Yeah. Icebox is going to quit again. And it's going to be split this family right down the middle.
How many games do you think they're going to win going forward? How many games? I don't even know how many games are in a PB
Let's call
football
it 10
season.
games.
10 games?
Call it 10 games. I think they go 5-5. I think they start off strong,
Yeah.
but they fizzle because of
The turmoil?
the turmoil in the team. Because
the locker room cancer?
Because Junior's going to be quarterback, and number 8 for the Cowboys doesn't like that he just basically got usurped. Spike don't play with girls. Remember that.
That's true.
So
He'll
Becky,
quit.
so he's playing with girls.
Is he going to transfer? You think he'll be a transfer?
I think he's going to transfer to. He's got it. This kid can play JV. Let's be honest. Put that kid up there with 16-year-olds, and it's gonna. I say they go 5-0, and then a quick 0-5, disappointing season. Head coach is fired.
Here's another. The mayor's impeached.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of town. Whatever. Would they be the Giants or would they be the Cowboys?
That's a tough one.
What do you think?
I feel like you got to go Cowboys because obviously they spent more money on those uniforms.
Yeah, they look nicer,
snazzier. They
too.
look better.
And this is coming from 2 Eagles fans here.
I'm no Cowboys fan at all. You got to go Cowboys uniforms there. At 94, they were in peak championship form.
Yeah.
The bandwagon was full. You got to go with it. You got the stars on the pads, man. Come on, man.
See, I can't get over seeing that Cowboys jersey and just associating it with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So for me as an Eagles fan, I don't even want to see him in either, really. Let's see him be in just a blue color.
Yeah,
They could be
the blue
whatever.
team.
The blue
The
team.
blue team.
The Pee Wee blue team.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Before we wrap this up, we're going to do a new segment on this show I like to call Last Row Lines, which is basically I'm going to put betting lines on certain events and outcomes that may or may not happen during the event of this movie. It doesn't have to necessarily be tied to sports, but we're going to take events in the movie and we're going to put betting lines on them.
I like this. I like the sound of this. I'm excited.
So, first of all, we're going to talk about this game as it were to really happen, not the bullshit that actually happened that we saw on the field. That's fantasy land. Let's talk about this realistically.
Yeah.
Giants, Cowboys, those spazzes versus the studs on the Cowboys team.
Yeah.
So first of all, who do you got over under total number of injuries on the Giants after this game? I have the line set at 2.5.
Oh my God.
Over 2.5 injuries or under 2.5?
I'm saying over because There was already 2 injuries in the game, right? I mean, and that's in like a fake game.
Yeah, all right. Who got hurt in the fake game?
You know, Junior almost died, or he did die.
Yeah, he did. He got crushed.
You know, he got crushed.
Yeah, that's right.
The one kid literally got crushed and stepped on.
Yeah, the little kid got crushed into
the other kid almost
2.
got his head ripped off.
That's 3 right there.
You know, I'm sorry, but that the kid with asthma, he might have literally had an asthma attack and not been able to run. That counts as an injury.
So you're telling me Vegas got this one wrong?
Yeah, they got that one way wrong.
Right. So
I'm saying way over.
So you're cashing out on that one.
I'm definitely cashing out on that one. I'm saying way over.
All right, how about over-under on false starts by the Little Giants in this game?
Dude, that's definitely over, too.
Knowing what you know in practice.
What's the
here.
line? What did you set it at?
It's over-under 5.5 false starts.
Oh, God. They didn't even know how to line up.
Yeah.
So doesn't that automatically count as a false start?
That's an illegal formation. It's not quite a false start.
Do they know how to watch the ball and not listen to the hard count? I mean, I don't know.
It's too complicated for hard counts here. Those kids can't grasp those kind of concepts.
I'm saying over. I'm saying over all the way. I don't know what their abilities are, but in real life, if these kids never played football in their life and they're just learning how to line up 2 weeks, over.
All right, I'll tell you what. I got under because it's gonna get to 5, and then the refs are gonna say screw it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's like the pass interference.
All right, next bet. Over under Cowboys unnecessary roughness penalties accrued throughout the game. 3.5. Over under 3.5.
3.5. Oh my God. I'm gonna say over because I'm gonna say over on all these probably because just the ridiculousness at which these guys play. I mean, Spike again. He beat the guy. The other one, he tried to take his head off. I say over and over.
See, I think after a while, no matter, even if they're playing hard, they're going to call unnecessary roughness because it's going to look like they're killing him. Even if it's a clean hit, it's going to look bad.
Yeah.
Because there's such a disparity in size and skill. Next, we got over under Spike rushing yards, 175.5.
How many did he have in this fake game? He had at least probably 250.
Well, I remember we looked it up before we start here. The field's 80 yards, right?
It's something like
not
that.
100
right?
yards, it's 80 yards. 8-minute quarters. But you got to factor in them taking it easy in the fourth quarter, not to run the score up. 175 over under.
Oh, Kevin O'Shea's running that score up,
Do you
man.
think he is?
He's crushing his brother.
Maybe a Jimmy Johnson. You get a little Jimmy Johnson in him.
He said, I'm going to crush you. We're going to crush the Little Giants.
Might have a change of heart in the middle of the game,
man.
though.
No way. He wants that gas station. He wants to demolish the gas station. Over.
You're going over on all these.
I'm going over.
I'm going under because I think they put the backup in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Number 40.
Yep. Man, you're
I'm saying over. These guys, like, they're way too good.
You are in debt right now, my friend. All right. If Icebox played the whole game, right? Over under forced fumbles, 2.5 for Icebox.
Oh, man. I'm saying under because I feel like that's one where I'm going under.
Under?
Yeah. She already did 2. She probably would have done 2 in my head.
Okay.
2. She's going to cause at least 2. But
right.
I'm saying under.
The third one's tough?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, it's over. She did cause 2 in 2 defensive series that she was in. So you better start getting the checkbook out, my friend. And lastly, what's your realistic score prediction? God. Let's say this game. I'll give you Icebox for the whole game. Let's pretend that she didn't have this little lack of this absent-minded, let's go play cheerleader thing. She's committed to her team. She plays the whole game. What's your final score?
I think they actually score. I think they score, not 28 points, okay?
Yeah.
But she's going to score something because she's all they got.
Right.
Junior, I heard a Junior. I mean, realistically, they probably would be a pretty close game based on how she performed.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, 42-14.
42-14. Cowboys. They don't cover the spread.
No.
But it's a pretty dominating score.
Yeah. Because realistically, if they didn't piss her off, she played better than she probably should have.
Yeah.
Because she was mad.
Yeah. See, I liken this to the Houston Texans of 2013.
Yeah.
Where J.J. Watt was a nut all over the field, and they still won like 2 games.
Yeah.
That's the same type of thing here. I feel like there's nothing that Icebox can do to overcome the lack of talent on her entire team. I like your score, 42-17.
Okay. So you're going with it?
I'll go with it. So, total it up as your bookie. I think you owe me about $400. So
I'll pay. Do you accept cash, credit?
Oh, I accept credit. The juice is running immediately. So.
Well, look, this has been a lot of fun. I forgot to mention this was our Super Bowl special. We kind of said it before, right? I guess
everybody knows Super Bowl's on.
We had planned on it. So we want to say thanks for listening. We want to wish everyone a happy Super Bowl. Enjoy it, love it. Hopefully, whoever you want to win wins.
But they all can't be winners, Drew.
Yeah. Well, our team's not in it. So.
As your bookie, who do you got?
Oh, man.
Patriots, Seahawks. Patriots favored by 1.5.
I'm going Seahawks.
Seahawks?
Yeah, I'm going for them, underdog.
I agree.
I'm a Russell Wilson fan, so
I
let's go with
agree.
them.
Seahawks are going to win, but I'm rooting for the Patriots.
I can't believe you just said that on the show. There's evidence
Put it
here.
out there.
I want everyone that is friends with Badway to call in, write in, tell him why he's wrong.
I'm no fan of the Patriots, but go Pats.
He's got probably money on this here, so
go Pats.
And anyway, a couple people asked us, why are we doing this podcast? You know, what's our background?
Did they say it like that? Did they say, why are you doing this?
No.
Did they say it like that? Who said that?
They wrote in and asked, you know.
Oh, okay. See, I've read it wrong.
So what's your background with movies? You know, why did you guys start a movie podcast? You know, we never really answered this. We just said that we know and like movies. So tell people about our background.
It's actually a pretty fitting story. I mean, I've known Drew since 11th grade.
Been a while.
Yeah. And we're reasonable, quote unquote, adults at this point. When we were youngins, in our younger days, we both had jobs. I worked at a reputable, large chain video store.
An establishment?
An establishment. It's not an establishment. It's a conglomerate.
Okay.
A heavyweight.
Establishment makes it sound like an adult store.
It's not. It wasn't a seedy.
Yeah.
I rock the blue and yellow. Yeah.
All right.
I rock the blue and yellow. And so I had the movie rentals on lock. And where were you?
I worked at a movie theater chain too. So, you know, between me and Badway, we had all the movies on lock. So we saw pretty much everything.
So yeah, we were very prominent in the movie industry. So
we're veterans.
We saw them coming in and going out. We watched more bad movies than we could care to ever share because they were free. Because why not?
Yeah. So that's kind of the story of that. And, you know, we talked about doing a podcast for like 5 years and we finally did it. So we're glad that everybody's enjoying it.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of good feedback.
Yeah,
so.
no, we have no idea what we're doing, but we know we're having a good time doing it.
After this episode, people are probably going to stop listening.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate one listener, let alone the number of downloads that we've had so far. So this has been awesome.
So that's what I want to say. I'm humbled by everybody that's downloaded. I know you are too. It's been really fun so far. We're going to keep doing this. It's just been a lot of fun.
Tell your friends.
So
spread it out. Yeah.
And if you guys do enjoy it, stay tuned for more. You can hit our website up at thelastrowpodcast.com. Send us an email, thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com. We mentioned Twitter at thelastrowpod. Look for us on Facebook, Google+, and any other way that you want to get in touch with us. We're here. We're here to listen. We're going to be doing this. That was terrible. We'll see you next time.
Didn't I tell you we didn't know what we were doing?
We'll see you next time.
See ya.